Hello, Newman.
Newman?
Hello, Newman.
Newman?
Hello, Newman.
No, no. Naming.
Hello, Newman.
Nemean.
Hello, Newman.
Man, this intro's just gone off. Stay tuned and I'll explain what's going on. Nemean is our newest beast unit. To be quite honest, is a very niche unit overall, and it's a pretty easy skip for most people, but it has one very interesting skill. It's First Awakening, which nullifies breath damage for 3 turns at start. Uh, this is great if you're going against dragon units and you're basically just going to want to use for attack in Guild Wars or Real Time Arena. Otherwise, it's an easy skip. Um, let's just go through the awakenings. Crack resistance and bang resistance are 2 and 4. Third one gives attack power of beasts within a 5x5 range for 3 turns, just like the other units that upgrade their own families. Unfortunately, beast groups are just not great. Therefore, it's just not all that interesting. Also gives Beastly Ring Smash 5%, and the last one gives an extra 50 HP, which is actually really needed for it because, as you can see here, it is pretty weak overall for the HP and defense, especially in the HP set here. So, what we're going to do, just real quick here, is just go through all of the skills, and the first one is Burning Fog. Burning Fog occasionally paralyzes 20% all enemies and lowers defense 20% as well. Or, sorry, 40%, I should say, with the occasional. Um, but most importantly, this is just a pretty meh first skill. Doesn't do any damage. And it's just occasionally only on both. So it really just doesn't have enough oomph for a first skill. The second skill, Bolt Storm, is the one that you're most likely going to be using if you use Newman. Inflicts large sap damage to all enemies and has a high chance of greatly reducing HP recovery for 3 turns. This is the other major use for the unit, is to be able to reduce the HP healing effect for 3 turns. So if you're fighting a team that is basically trying to heal like a diamond slime, and it's got a breath team that's going against it, Nemean is actually, like this is really the main use you're going to be using Nemean for. Um, all in all, though, greatly reducing HP recovery for 3 turns is probably the most unique it has, and it's a very high chance. With that zap damage, does do some damage overall. Won't do much damage to the diamond slime, but just an example. Last one's Beastly Ring Smash. Inflicts 85% physical damage 3 times to all enemies. Occasionally lowers speed for 3 turns. This is great. I'm also good with the agility, but the damage is a little bit less than on average in Bolt Storm, especially if they're weak to zap. But the HP healing effect is a very unique ability. The lowering agility is maybe useful if you need to slow down, especially as I say you're going to be using these against breath units only. And remember, it only nullifies breath damage. If you get paralyzed by a breath skill, it will still get paralyzed. So just for people to know, and as I say, the resistance here, if I remember, sorry, if it gets confused by breath, sorry, not paralyzed. I knew it was resistant one, but it's really weak to poison and confusion, which is really annoying because yeah, it's great against breath damage, but Madgarou has a very strong confusion. It would have been really, really nice if confusion was where it was immune instead of paralysis. That's one of the reasons why this is one of those banners where I'm just going to kind of go through the rest of this and just kind of say, if you do get it, it has uses, but a horrible unit design, as in like for resistances, because one of the big enemies you worry about is Mandragora. What does it do? It poisons and confuses. What is this weak to? Poison and confuse. It is not able to counter that. Um, as I say, let me just make sure that break doesn't even say here. I just want to make sure, but it's just breath damage. It doesn't nullify any of the resistances here. So this is, remember, level 120, max HP 110 93, and defense 347. If you're fighting anything other than breath units, Nemean will die quickly. It is very fast at the very least at 515, so it is on par with most of the dragons that you worry about, if not a little faster. It has plenty enough MP overall, and its attack is pretty high. So the physical here damage, it will do some pretty good damage, but once again, it's not a damage unit. It's more of a counter to breath. So all in all, it's a little disappointing. It is nice with the weight 50, though. It doesn't take up that much room overall. And as I say, if you're going against a heavy dragon team, you can counter. Preferred weapon is actually the better Horde Hammer. This is on the Blossom Planet Punk Road 2. This has been added recently. This axe can be gotten. Has roads 0, 1, and 2, so it's 3 battle roads. It's attack 28 with the beast physical potency plus 5%, and it does everything beast physical potency. Newman loves this axe, does a lot better, and as I say, because it's a battle road, it's actually fairly easy to get. Learn skills. Blunt is probably the main one. If you want to maybe even go for like a sleep, that would be fine. But honestly, it's you're not really going to use much of a learned skill. And if you want to, you can give it another elemental attack. This is one of the few S units where physical elemental attack might be the best place to put it. But overall, it's not that great. Pros, I'm going to be honest, it's a little embarrassing how little pros I put on here, but that's, I mean, it does have its accelerate as well, but basically, it's got great speed. It will try and counter and should go first on most times when you're going against dragon units. The only thing you got to worry about is if someone's put on an agility equipment and you don't with the beast axe to try to give it more power. The nullifying breath damage though for 3 turns is a great counter to the dragon meta, as stated. Its big weakness is outside of breath resistance. It's very easy to be killed, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of what most it can do. Yeah, it can do, as I say, it does a lot of status elements, and I like control type ideas. It's just, it's not a direct counter to Mandragora because of its resistance weaknesses. I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of the design. So, while I pull, that answer's pretty quickly easy. No, and I'm not going to go into any more detail. I'm sorry. So the next one here is Gasmon. Gasmon is an interesting unit. I'm going to be honest, I'm not even sure. I'm probably still going to go do the guaranteed S pull, but this is just not a great unit. It's Curse Breath that does increase its curse for breath, so it's not nearly as bad of a unit, and the 5th Awakening gives more curse as well. But going through the Awakenings here, the focus on curse just doesn't make it as great of a unit. It's very, very niche. If you get it, you'll probably can use it. It does have good HP and defense, and a plus first skills to give it more movement as well. Third awakening is if you fully recover HP, and HP. Well, if you get it to 20% or less HP, because it'll level 5 if you get it to, like, so you could get up to 1175 plus at that point, with since it's a decent amount of breath here, all of its breath, you don't care about attack. You're just going to have to do HP and agility. It has enough HP where that will proc. That gives you still over 200 HP. You're actually talking, if you put enough HP on it, almost 300 HP, which is pretty big range. So it will proc. So I do give it props for there. Sealed Breath occasionally blocks physical and spell damage from all enemies within that area of effect. And this big Zai deals major breath damage to all enemies in effect and occasionally. Okay, so it changes here. So it's occasionally here. I'm sorry. It says sometimes, which is 20%. All in all, here, this is a banner where I highly suggest you don't pull. There's a whole reason why that instead we have these scout stamps and other pretty nice banners here. This is just not a great banner. Honestly, at this point, we're still got Zenlon, and we still have Zoma and Hero Edric. Spend those gems there, please. Save the rest for, I don't know. I just don't know. Actually, no, I'm not even going to pull that here. I might just do that off screen. I don't have the paid gems right now. The tickets right now on top of it. See what we get. Guess this is a pretty lame review, so I do apologize. While we're just kind of waiting for everything here, more importantly, I just got back from vacation. If people want to see the Wish trip, I'm trying to do a vlog. It is a little slow. Work has been pretty busy for me lately. So on top of that, if I will be getting ready for the next event, which is for me an interesting event, Final Fantasy Brave Exodus War of the Visions. I did not play War of the Visions. I do play FFBE, the original game. So I'll be kind of going through that as well and preparing for that. And I will be doing some other random stuff as well. I'm finally going to get on vacation where I'll be home. It's the holidays, so I should be home a little bit more than normal. All in all, actually, we're just going to skip here. Not great. We'll take a look there. And that's paid. Not paid, but this one is probably, if you're going to spend one here, guaranteed S rank is the one to go. Let's just kind of go through this real quick too. The draw rates here. So taking a look through here, kind of just got a pretty large group here. So that's the one thing that I'm not a huge fan of, but they're all the newer units. I don't have enough to do a full set of pulls, but we'll do the first one now. What I am really hoping for probably is in Lucia, a Diamond Slime, or a Grey Gnarl. I think those are the three that I need the most. So let's just see here. We'll do this pull. And then after that, we'll call this a video and off we go. But this is a pretty good deal. If you have 3,000, do the first one at the very least. You get a guaranteed S rank of relatively newer units. Or you could be like me and just get the bare minimum. And we'll skip to try to make this video shorter. Prince Rickard canon. I still needed him, so it's not the worst one, but he's pretty useless overall. Alright, guys, I hope you guys enjoy. Please like and subscribe. I really haven't asked for that, but I've been relatively stagnant recently. I've also been trying to do some video games online as well. You can visit me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Madgarou. Thank you, everybody. Good luck. Happy holidays. And I will see you a little later when the FFBE event comes around very, very soon. Bye, everyone.